Today we're going to talk about chipping. This is probably one of the most variable shots that we have in golf. A lot of different options, different situations. We'll talk about that now. I'd like to just go through a little bit of the technique that I like to use for this type of shot. I like to put the feet a little bit closer together. Okay. The ball position for this explanation is going to be in the middle. Okay, and my front foot I'm going to open a little bit. I'm going to spray it open a little bit. So you may have the impression that the ball is a little bit further back, but it's in the middle of my heels. I don't have any angles here like the normal shot. I'm just going to stand up pretty straight. My shoulders are going to be parallel to each other, so I definitely don't have the angle that we normally have for the full swing. And my breastbone I'm going to put a little bit in front of the ball, open up a little bit. It's going to help me have a little bit more angle of attack and to hit the ball or through the ball, okay, that I catch the ball first. Okay. You can, if you feel a little bit more confident, grip the club a bit shorter. I like to keep the club pretty much in the same position that I do for the irons and the normal swing. Okay, so I'm definitely standing a little bit closer to the ball now. Okay, so I don't want too much distance. I haven't got a good feeling here. So I'm definitely more upright. Okay, haven't got a lot of angles in the body. So you can see if I'm doing it from this position, I'm pretty much more upright, parallel, getting the breastbone a little bit in front. Now, if we talk about the club, I like the club to go straight back. Okay, so we definitely don't want the club. You got to check this, guys, because this is going to be something that's going to cause a lot of problems in chipping. We don't want the club going inside because we're going to hit fat. We definitely don't want it outside because then we're going to start chunking the ball a little bit. So get the club moving pretty much straight back. Okay. Also a little bit depending on what I want to do with the ball. If my club is going to open a little bit, or if I keep the club square, okay, that could change a little bit of the trajectory depending on what I want to do. Okay. Different theories. Some people talk about that we can actually have a little bit of a turn with the hips. Others like to keep the hips still. Okay, but actually when I'm going backwards, I'm actually transferring the weight onto the front foot. Okay, so we don't want a weight transfer in this type of shot because this is a short shot. Okay, taking the club back and I'm transferring the weight onto my front foot. Okay, so at the start, just to set that up, the start, don't like the weight being on the front foot in the setup. Want it 50-50, and then transferring the weight. Okay. And then it's just turning. Okay, so this shot is what I see a lot from amateurs is what they do is they try and just hit with the arms and the hands. My arms are connected to the body, so this is pretty much the body that is turning. And I'm just letting the club fall onto the ball and turn. Okay? So it's definitely not trying to flick it up into the air or just use the hands. Okay, so we just hit one. We'll get into the setup position. Okay, taking the club back. Weight transfer forward and turn. Okay. One. I like to keep my angles through the shot, so we don't want to try and stand up or something. Okay, so we just. Okay, now we're in the hole. Oh. What I'm going to decide is when I'm in a situation on the golf club, on the golf course. Okay. I want to know how my ball is. If it's got a good lie. if I'm in the rough, depending. Okay, what is the distance that I have to the green, and then the distance that I have to the hole. Okay, so what I always say is it's better to get the ball onto the green rolling than try and fly the ball directly to the hole. Okay, so we can talk about 4 different clubs. Okay, so depending on where I want to land the ball, depending on the trajectory that I want to hit the ball, and depending on the distance that the ball is going to roll. So if I was talking about 4 clubs that I would be using, I would use my 58 degree, my 54 degree, my 50 degree, and I would probably use like a 9-iron if I would like to get the ball rolling. Okay. We can also talk about 3 different ball positions. Okay, if I put the ball back in my stance and use one of the 4 clubs that I use for chipping, I'll have a lower trajectory. Getting the ball a little bit more forward, maybe opening the club a little bit, is going to get a higher trajectory and less roll. Okay, so this is one of the big mistakes that I see on the golf course is the guys, they can chip pretty decently, but they make wrong decisions. Okay, they take the wrong clubs for the wrong situation. Okay, so if I would have a 9-iron, okay, if I take my 9-iron, then what I do, I choose now to land the ball. Very important for us is to always know where we want to land it and what the ball is going to do. Okay, so a 9-iron, I get the ball landing round about in this area. Okay, we choose a nice area to land. We don't want to do just a small. Okay, so in that area, I'm going to land the ball. So my ball position, I'm going to put a little bit back in my stance now because I want this ball to roll a lot. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit this ball nicely onto the green and let it roll to the Okay, a little bit short, but still got a putt. Okay, so if I was now having a situation where I've got to go over, I've got maybe in front of me here until that flag over there, there's a bunker or water or something. Okay, so I'd be doing the same shot, taking my 58 degrees, my lob wedge, putting the ball a little bit more forward. Okay, maybe opening a bit, going to do a bit of a longer swing. Get more up. So every situation I have to make my decision. Where do I want to land the ball? How far do I have to the green? How far does it roll? Which club? What ball position? What is the trajectory? And then decide what type of shot I want to do for it. Okay guys, use that, you chip better.